Domain 2, classroom environment. I felt like I brought into classroom environment a pretty good knowledge base on the physical space of a classroom. It has been something that in my previous teaching experience has taught me a lot about, and also made me consider before I go into a classroom just how students are seated and how the classroom is structured and how um, this teacher's position sends a message to the students on what kind of instruction they'll be getting and quite frankly how much they want to pay attention. But to be honest, I felt like this was probably the domain that I saw the most growth in my time in this class. I felt like other than that, I didn't bring a lot to the table in classroom environment, and certainly learned a lot from Teach 259. Some of the things that I picked up were Thornburg's 3 metaphors for types of learning. Had never really considered before the 3 different ways students can gather knowledge, and it made a lot of sense to me, and now is something that I think through a lot in preparing for lessons. Also, the opportunity to make a proposal was one that I definitely relished and was helpful to my professional goals, as I've done presentations before, but not necessarily in a formal sense, and not necessarily with the Prezi tool, which is something else that I learned to like a lot. Was a lot of work, and figured out most of the stuff just by trial and error, but was really satisfied in how the Prezi turned out, and will definitely be using that again for teaching and for presentations. How did I grow? Like I said, a lot of trial and error with Prezi, and the whole making a presentation in general. Actually, after the Prezi was done, got to present it to my grandparents and my dad, who are all in some way involved in the education field. So they really enjoyed that, and I definitely grew a lot from actually having to give the presentation and not just make up the presentation. And actually, my dad is foundation director of Lincoln Christian here in town, and they are considering whether or not to get iPads for students, and he took the presentation in and, as far as I know, showed it to the superintendent just as a way to get the conversation kind of going, and they had already chatted a little bit about the opportunities iPads do provide students in the classroom. In addition to that, how will I continue to grow? Definitely going to consider Thornburg's ideas as I continue to present material to students. Coming up in next semester, I'll be teaching at church some more, and definitely want to move past only didactic teaching and what Thornburg would reference as fireside teaching, but actually have the students engage and do some work in groups and do some works on their own as well, and encounter the material in more ways than one, because that's really how I see growth in myself as well as students. And also just continue to refresh myself in the tools that are available to classrooms, and continue to be on top of some of the technologies that are coming out, because really it does have a big impact on students being able to not only be aware of the technologies, but use them in an effective manner in the classroom.